Good morning, all. Happy Wednesday pre-Thanksgiving here in the States. Hello, Sharon, Stroobs, Tabby, Daily Word, Fun Paul. Hello, Jazz Dancer. Ray, me too. Well, I will be until after. Then I won't be so bummed. Hello, Fred. Hello, Lisa in Texas. Hello, LSU girl. Mr. Jensen. Hello, Frank. Hello, Wade and Red Rock. Hello, MJ. Hello, Peggy. Miss Annie. Hello, Leo. 66 for AKA the Kevin. Happy birthday, sir. Storkinson. Hello, Desiree. Hello, Lisa. John holding down the house. Promise Maggot. Diana. Mr. Mokel. Mr. Patton. Fred turning 64 today. Breeden. Let's all give thanks. Why would you need anything else to be thankful for? I mean, it'd be nice to be thankful for other things, but that alone should have us excited about things. Chile, Wyoming. I see Lee checking in. Windy, Illinois. Tampa, Florida. I'm just busy reading through them, guys. That's all. Highly unfair that I got to keep talking instead of hanging out with you all. I've not seen buildings in Hong Kong on fire. All right, let's just get to it. Flight level, thank you, exceptionally kind. Retired in Central Florida. Good for you. I mean, you got to come out of retirement when we get to start that whole NetJet style business just for denarians. Well, I mean, if you didn't have any dinar and you had other currency, we'd still let you in. Hello, Noel, 36 in the high desert of Arizona. Chilling, Washington. I bet it's cold. Daughter Donna, 38 today. Now, I did see this one, guys, and I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet this morning. But it looks like a good time to do it. Drink more coffee. Freedom Forged. Sweetened with the tears of liberals. Wait, I can't go there because by definition, I'm a liberal. Wait a minute. What do you mean? You've heard me say it over and over and over. The classic definition would mean we believe in free markets and individual sovereign rights. Totally different than what it's become, but still would make a good advertising. Arctic chill, snowstorms will batter the Midwest and Northeast over Thanksgiving. Snowfall could reach 30 inches in Michigan and Wisconsin, while the South will face below average temperatures. That's kind of chilly. What do we get here? Snowstorms, a result of an Arctic swell that will hit the United States from Canada, will be in Washington, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Western New York. Minnesota will be hit the hardest, with at least 6 inches of snow and wind speeds of 45 miles per hour forecast for the Twin Cities region of Minneapolis and St. Paul, where the temperature with wind chilled on Thanksgiving Day will be just 12 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what we'd say, no bueno. A cool 22 degrees south of Denver. September morning snowed here last night in eastern Washington. BK Smiley's husband celebrating the 75th. Winter fixing to make the scene in the old KC. Yeah, it's all that global warming. It's tough. Tough. Rising sea levels, too. I mean, just the devastation. The devastation at Plymouth Rock, where the ocean has risen 0 since the Pilgrims landed. Winter sure hit Minnesota. 60 in Boston, though. Charlie's going to celebrate. He's going to be out there in his mankini, soaking up some rays. Yep. Got to get ready for that one for tomorrow. Got to pop on in the morning, go do my turkey imitation. 56 in South Carolina for Turkey Day. Hello, new envies. Wow. Irmo, happy 100th birthday to my dad, Sylvester, a.k.a. Speedy. He fought with General Patton's elite forces in the Battle of the Bulge. We are so blessed. You truly are, and that is special. Please, please wish Speedy a very, very happy birthday from those of us here at the MarkZ community. And thank Speedy for his service. He is somebody that I would love to be able to hear the stories from. The experiences, whenever you can, record things like that. '80 in California today. Hello, Rye Guy. Oh, Mona. Or, yeah, Mona Bingen. North Dakota, we got hit 11 degrees, but the wind chill is a cold 1 degree. Let's see. Richard with a question. Morning, Z family. Mark, what makes more sense? Tier 4B gets notification exchange, then a couple weeks later, General Public hears out in the news, or go at the same time? That's a good question, and one that I kind of go back and forth with, because there was about a 10-day head start between kind of like their version of a 4B and the General Public with Kuwait. But with the internet, makes it really tough. I know logistically they would love to do it that way, meaning we would all get a notification maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, and then they would announce to the public. That was the original plan. What's that going to look like now in today's interconnected world and so many people in on it? It's a good question. I know the original plan was exactly like you're talking about. Bring them in, bring in the groups, doing the special whatever, whether they're Indian groups, Bishop. I'm trying to think of all the General Six, all of those, and church groups, and bring them in as quietly as you can over a week or two, and then announce to the public, because that provides liquidity for the new system. That's the design we were told way back when. But logistically in my head, I'm like, can they even pull that off? You guys think. I can tell you what I've been told from the very beginning when the plan was, and that would be to roll it out very quietly with the groups that they can keep quiet, and then go public. If they do it that way, there will be an NDA until it is made public. But that would only be, a week, 2 weeks, something like that. Let's see. Think agape love always forever. That's a mouthful. Good mouthful. Great day yesterday. Granddaughter came. I passed on the traditional family's recipes. Sweet potato and pumpkin pies are ready. Looking forward to an early dismissal. 4 hours, 51 minutes. Let's see. The trim guy turned 80 today. What a great life. Almost never miss a show. Trim guy, happy birthday. Maryland, I see celebrating. Have we driven anybody nuts yet? Chocolate pudding pie. You guys are killing me, Smalls. Let's see what Mountain Goat had, and then we're going to dive into the news. Guru Mountain Goat. Bah. The CBI has been telling us for over a decade they need security and stability to pull this RV off. In fact, Iraq does now have the stability they need. They know that an R is already stable with the policies now in place. We are there. We can clearly now see that the next step is the move to removing the zeros and then to reinstate the dinar. We dare. We are there. All right, let's dive in. Let's start right here. Oh, we already started with that part. That doesn't really count, does it? let's get into some news. What little news there is. Bonsai meetings today, tomorrow, Thursday in Asia because they're not doing Thanksgiving. Pretty quiet on the state side of it. I still have yet to find somebody like, say, Reno side or et cetera that has any big meetings going on. Groups have been quiet. I think probably not going to hear anything in the next few days. I hope I'm wrong. Be a great time during the quiet to do it. So a real mixed bag on the bond side, group side. I do know that one of my wealth management contacts, normally they have like when they're on call, hey, try to stay within 50 miles of home. This one, they were asking for them to stay within 100 miles or so, a few hours, unlike normal when they want them there within an hour if they call them. So does that mean anything? I don't know. That they still have them somewhat available, period. That's probably a positive sign. But for the most part, just quiet on the rumor side. Was really hoping we would see. I was hoping for a militiaman today. Didn't get him. Andy has indeed said no. I went through my messages. He had already told us no. He has a link just in case he has a little time with family stuff. But with Thanksgiving, we're not going to see him until, I'm worried, after the holidays. Not that that was Intel related, but it was going to save me a lot of questions in chat. Iraqi integrity, or the Integrity Commission, denies the disappearance. Remember that $2.5 trillion dinar? A million people have sent me articles on it. I was like, don't worry. Went into, it's not gone. It's not missing. They moved it into a type of investment bond for the department. I was reading this one. I was like, it's there, and a little back and forth. So as it develops, we can finally quit worrying about those. If anybody was, many of you may not even know what we're talking about because I haven't covered it. Email wise, I've covered it entirely too often. The Federal Integrity Commission has formally rejected claims that around 2.5 trillion dinar was withdrawn or lost from the Social Protection Fund's accounts, confirming the full amount remains intact and under official control. It had simply gone into an investment vehicle for them instead of just sitting in the account losing value as inflation. That's all. Easy one. That one's taken care of. A lot of folks were worried for no good reason, but still worried. So let's get into the actual news. Pressure on the central bank to change the exchange rate as an interference with its independence. Spelling it out. After announcing the final results of the elections, a lot of people are pressuring them to change a value. Nasiri is checking in saying, hey, look, politics doesn't get to do that. Finance ministry doesn't get to do that. CBI, they've defended it. They're in good shape. Politicians aren't going to force them to change the value, to move it down, any of those things. It will be completely based on fundamentals. And then he went in to talk about how they are securing more gold, more foreign currency reserves, how they have more value than they have in circulation. Just one of those health check ones. And some of the strategies they're using in order to increase that value. Just positive stuff, guys. I love watching these things because it's fundamentals. And now Fitch, another one that is making the news cycle. Fitch affirms Iraq at a B- outlook for stability because of stability, saying if they were more stable, it'd be even higher. That they have been very responsible. They're in a good shape. Inflation, very, very, very. Guys, the U.S. targets 2% inflation. Iraq targets 1% inflation, and they're just about there. So inflationary and stability, they have it. And I think this is important because both economists here, Siri and also Saleh, in articles today, talk about just how stable it is. Another one, Fitch would have been happier if they had a more diversified economy. Remember all the articles we've shared about diversification, because so much comes from just oil. So we've talked about Development Road. We've talked about the new border and tariffs and customs, ISCUDA system. And we've talked in the last few days about tourism, which is going to be about 30% of their revenue. So we go through this. Oil over the next handful of years will drop to 60, 50% or less of the revenue. So the outlook is phenomenal on this front when we look at their value. Soleil really gets into that one as well with the spending, how they pay their debt, what their real assets are, how they've enhanced it, the economic growth, and is just saying, hey, as we diversify it, we're going to be worth more and more and more. I love it because that's exactly what they told us. They were going to do modernize their banking system, stabilize their inflation, reduce what's in circulation. Let's see. Broaden economy, reduce new banking system, and then they were going to lift their purchasing power. We're there. They can do it now. That's really the fun stuff from the RV related news. Certain today we should have a lot of time for questions since we don't have an Andy and we don't have a militia man. See, I saw a very good podcast at 3 a.m. this morning from Badlands Media, DEFCON 0. Sounds ominous. Let's see. Special moment. Son-in-law sent me a video of my 5-year-old grandson shooting baskets with his great-grandfather. So cool. I love it. What did Frank Cap say? Bowler bringing in somebody else. It's amazing to see the CBI be so polar. 1 minute, they tell you they're going to give you the citizens' purchase power. The next minute, they say, yeah, but everything's stable. It causes your citizens to think you're not going to get anything. Don't let this confuse you. They have to deny the truth. They're trying to put a big obstacle in front of the face of the investors. That's what's happening right now. We're inches away. That's not how I would have worded it all, but spot on, Frank. It's exactly what you're watching. They do the news back and forth to confuse and cloud timing. This is so textbook from any nation in modern history that has changed their value. Yep, the Battle of the Bulge will be tomorrow. Who will win? Who will lose? Obfuscation, that's exactly it. Clear as mud. How did I get involved in all this? A number of factors had to come together. I was in, restaurant business for the day job, owning bars and restaurants. And my uncle and I I know it's going to sound, but it all comes together in pieces and parts. My uncle Wally and I had started a hydrocarbons company after Enron fell apart, started with some family members trying to figure out what to do. And then we started servicing rigs, things like that. Had a contact that was, I'd gone to Africa on a vacation, met some folks there. They needed some equipment. I was very familiar with it, helped them get some things, some back and forth, connecting people, diesel engines, things like that, just helping. I wonder if I have that guy's contact anymore. So I was a little familiar with, in that one, it would have been like Kenya, Tanzania. But then I had a guy that I bought and sold a lot of restaurant stuff with. He was in Africa on mining. He said, well, hey, you're finding this, you're finding that, the well thing. And I'd already done some stuff for Africa. And so then he started finding some stuff for them in the mining industry and the oil industry over there. And the hydrocarbons worked out well because I was doing oil stuff and coal stuff here on the side with my uncle. So then they needed some of that for some oil fields and just created those contacts. Next thing I know, I'm helping on the gold side of it in Mali. And our biggest buyers were central banks because they were preparing for a reset. They said they didn't know when it was going to happen, sometime in the next 10, 20 years, probably. So they were aggregating gold for their central bank, and they were number one buyers. So I heard about the impending revaluation then of currencies in general, not necessarily Iraqi dinar. And then a friend's father kept beating on me about Iraqi dinar. I had so many service friends coming back and forth and officers, and they were saying, no, you need to get it. Our leadership is telling us, invest in the country. This is going to happen. We don't know when. They cited Kuwait. So the officers were telling them, many officers were telling them. So I was hearing about this both from some retired people that had invested in Kuwait, some people that were military, etc. I was like, I'm going to get some. Then I bought some. Already had some CMKX through Ray and Sheila, who I knew, and they introduced me to Mr. C because I had a friend that worked at Treasury, so they were just finding things out. I know this is convoluted as heck. So then just back and forth and meeting different people and knowing people from different aspects of this thing. And someone say, here, let me call my friend. He does this or she does that. And putting people together. Next thing I know almost everybody involved. I've sat down with Al a number of times. And now we are Al Hodges. Got to meet Mr. C. A lot of back and forth, many conversations. And now here we are. Had nothing to do with Intel, but daughter Kelly's 55th. I know we need to get back to some news. Let's see. If bonds are to be paid first, couldn't they immediately buy currencies before 4B and public rates post? Jackwagon, I think that is why we are getting quiet out of the bond folks, because I believe they are being crunched on with more than an NDA. I don't believe they are allowed to spend any of those proceeds on those without serious repercussions. In other words, lose it all. That's what I was told how it was going to work, because yes, it is a problem or a potential problem, and that they have cracked down on it legally. So that's the short of it and the long of it, of how I became involved. Then I met some of the key players. And when'd you come up with the idea to start a podcast? I kind of like talking. That really wasn't because I'd made like posts or comments, and then one of the folks that was involved was like, there's so much disinformation out there. We need somebody that will filter through it and keep people calm and make certain they don't lose hope at the same time. And I was like, sure, why not? I'll give it a shot. And here we are. Never thought it would be at this level. See, Mark, do you believe at the time of the exchange we'll be able to set up a percentage of our funds in investment? We can take out tax-free to pay payroll and other things for foundation. Blake, I do not think at the time you set it up, that's going to be an option. I was told very specifically that the exchange or that day is simply to get the account set up and get the money in the account, and that they will gladly set you appointments with people to do all the rest of it, but it will not be at the same appointment. What year was that? A lot of years ago. It's been about 6 years doing the podcast thing, almost. It'll be 6 years in May or June. Tennessee teach 5 years, soon to be 5.5 years. I was not personally involved in the Kuwait RV. I was still a young man starting in business. I do have a number of friends. I had one that tried to talk me into it. And I didn't, and regret that one like enormously. Had a friend that was in it. He ended up making about 10, or an older gentleman / mentor. He made about $10 million. And he had tried to talk me into it, and I didn't do it. And $10 million back in the early 90s was a lot of money. Regarding NDAs, does it make sense that NDAs would be used for 4B so that they don't divulge rates exchanges Tier 5B? To me, it would only make sense if they're trying to cloud timing. I think they're going to have a tough time with, I don't know. I'm thinking that one through right now. If there's a big discrepancy in rates, then yeah, it would make sense for them to have an NDA on rate only, not what happened, but rate only. But I've not been told that by anybody. It's just what makes sense. Yeah, Jay, you have been here since the beginning. We do go that far back. Weena Girl. Mark, we got currency from Goobers. Will Matt be calling us? No, Matt's not going to call you. Or how will you be? Will we be notified? Weena Girl is the same way I'm going to tell everybody in this thing. If they did not join a group way early on that aggregated their currency, like the Admirals group, something like that, if they weren't part of General 64 group, they came in it after, I'm going to give you the same suggestion I give family members and friends. You can learn a lot of that by just going to Back to the Basics at the original MarkZ.com. But make certain you go to this crazy website called Dinar Recaps. I'm pulling it up so I can show you what to do. DinarRecaps.com. You go there. You look for their free, join the Dinar Recaps free daily newsletter email list. You put in an email address, you put in a first name, optional, you subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing. Not a penny. Nada. Sign up. They give you a regular update. Now you're on their mailing list. I was told by 2 different banks that their plan to let people know was to send a email to recaps, and they said other aggregating sites, but the one they named specifically that's still around was Dinar Recaps, and that they would send them their instructions because they would send it out to everybody. The bank doesn't need to have an email list, doesn't need to have your information, doesn't need to have any of that stuff. They don't need to. Zero reason for them to. They're not going to have some magical Santa's naughty nice list at the banks because you've never dealt with many of you have never dealt with that bank or bought currency from it. So how would they know? They don't. So their plan was to send it to the top aggregating sites of the day, but the only one named specifically by that person at the bank was Dinar Recaps. That's why I suggest Dinar Recaps and others. So whatever of those news aggregating sites you like, they're going to find out. They will immediately be going on. It is going to be a big day. They're going to be a lot of excited people. They're going to plaster you with those notifications. And those notifications are supposed to be from the bank with the instructions for that bank with bank phone numbers, links to the bank to set appointments. And I would imagine the top 2, 3, 4, whatever tier 1 banks in the country, they're all going to send their emails to them with their directions and instructions because they're all going to be desperate to have your business. So that's my suggestion to you. If you are at all worried at all, period, just go to like Dinar Recaps, maybe Intel Chronicles, whatever they're guys. I don't even know what sites are out there anymore. I do not think the dinar will revalue before we go to a gold back dollar. I think it'll all go at the same time. Shit. Yeah, buddy, you've been here too. I think you were here when we had like 30 people. Jack, what's my vision for your podcast after the RV, streaming from your yacht, jet, beach, mansion, humanitarian project? My life's not going to change that much, Jack. I have a pretty good life. I'll probably get a little more better suited digs, like a properly renovated bathrooms, things like that, unless we get med beds like expected. Then I won't worry about it. Podcast will slow down. I'll probably go to 3 a week so we can get together. A lot of it will be focused on what are we doing? How are we investing? Who are we helping? Projects, etc., like that. I think the most difficult part is going to be after the RV. As we navigate a whole new world. Hickson turning 7 today. Did I get that right? Yeah, Hickson. Vicky, I'm still confused. Don't be confused. If I own no foreign currency, do I still need to have an appointment? No, you do not need an appointment at all. Don't need to think about it. Don't need to worry about it. Any money that you would get for, let's say, Nasera DeSera, Mr. C's correct, and all the income taxes you paid to the IRS are returned, then yeah, it would just go into your account. They would either, how did you get your stimulus check back during COVID? However you got that, it's probably exactly how you would get it. Yeah, Trey, A number of people sent me that clip. Funny thing I saw earlier this week, Sean Ryan Show podcast, the guest gave Sean $1 trillion Zim buy. How many like TV moments, handful, half dozen, where people have given either hosts or guests, hey, you're going to want this. I mean, even Trump here, it's going to be worth something. Hang on to this. And that was like Apprentice before he was, I think it was before he was ever president the first time. Diane, I do not know for certain. Do you think Indian money will come from the Indian Bureau instead of the tribal halls? I think it's going to come from your tribal halls because I was told that the money difference is different based on the tribe. Although it could be the Bureau working with the individual tribes. But I believe it'll come from the individual tribes. Johnny, you took a good approach. No need to beat your head against a block wall. I went to my local Ozark Bank, OZK Bank, yesterday. I asked if they would exchange foreign currency, and she said, absolutely, yes. Happy birthday to 43-year-old daughter, the turkey baby. Happy birthday to her. Oh, Grumpy to the rescue. An old Odyssey, like a really old video, but it is still what I am hearing, still accurate based on what I was told on the Zim, how it will most likely work. Reading through. All right. What else do we have to talk about? Just federally recognized tribes, September mornings. I don't know for certain, but I would say most likely it will be only federally recognized tribes. That would make sense to me. Let's go off to Italy. We already did all the different fun Iraq stuff. Yeah, we did. Italy. Foreigners commit 44% of sexual violence cases in Italy, half of gang rapes, while only representing 9% of the population. What does that tell you? About 400 or 500% more likely that they could greatly reduce if they didn't have the element there. And this is part of what I call the Trojan horse of immigration and uncontrolled immigration. When you have very different views of what is proper, what is improper, it is going to cause problems in a society. And it's done on purpose. It's done to destabilize societies. Part of a kind of a color revolution. Where we're at. It's where we're at in the United States. It's where we're at in Germany. It's where we're at in Sweden. It's where we're at in Switzerland. When you take incompatible societies and you throw them together, you're going to have problems, and it is done on purpose for anybody that's paying attention. And it sucks for the people that are truly in need, truly want to come, truly want to integrate. My suggestion to anybody that fits in that bracket, you have to be a bulldog at going after those that don't integrate. You don't defend them when they try to force a 14-year-old girl to marry. You don't defend them when they harass, grope, fondle, rape, etc., and say, yeah, but they deserve it because they're infidels or whatever. No, you don't. You go after them with a tenacity. Kind of like if you've got a teacher in the public school system that is taking liberties with students, then the rest of the teachers should be the first to demand justice. If you find out a minister is doing something, that's where the Catholic Church messed up. Instead of trying to bury it, sweep it under the rug, they should have been going after it with tenacity so that people would still trust the rest of the clergy. Teachers do the same thing. You got to go after them. You don't cover police officers. You don't cover a corrupt cop. You go after them with tenacity to remove that cancer. But that's not what happens. History has shown over and over and over and over and over that when you have migrant communities like that, instead of blending in, that you have those problems. Not always. Not all people are bad. But it creates the animosity, creates the hate, creates the division. Same thing that Germany used to blame a different group of people for government overspending, for corruption, for all those. They picked an immigrant group to blame. Doing the same thing in the States. They're doing the same thing in Italy. They're doing the same thing in the UK. Just so you know what they're doing to you. It is planned. It is planned to cause uprisings. And man, did it take a lot of prep work for them to do it and pull it off. So as we watch those, it is an absolute crime. The politicians that allowed it need to be held responsible for every one of those victims. I guess what I'm trying to say is, folks, understand who did it to you. Let's see, Mark, I hope you're wrong about the gold back money because Judy Shelton says that it's going to happen on the 250th anniversary. Wait, David, why would you want me to be wrong? I think it's going to happen before the 250th anniversary. So why would you want me to be wrong? You want me to be right. You want it to be like much sooner. I think you're going to get it between December 2nd and January 2nd based on what I'm hearing now. If that changes, I'll tell you. I'll eat that crow pie. I missed Andy. He doesn't love us anymore. I need a new friend. I think I'm going to see if Kevin wants to start hanging out with me. Yeah, so David, I think you're getting gold back money much sooner. Kim, our group's not breaking up after the RV. A lot of people will leave, though. My guess is we'll lose 30, 40% because they're just going to be busy. They're going to be busy with their own lives. They're not going to be worried about it. They're going to be doing their own thing. Many of them are just, many people are here just for the money. The overwhelming number of you folks that chat, talk, etc., it's not you. Mr. C is planning on joining us on Friday. Dr. Scott will probably join tomorrow morning instead, and no, tomorrow night. So we would do pretty close to a normal podcast tomorrow in the morning, say hellos, whatever. Dr. Scott would prepare a little. We'd take a few questions for those folks that don't have family on Thanksgiving. Does the G64 current group get a cut of the people's currencies? Firecracker, I was told way back when that the General 64 group, that the bank would give up part of what it makes for, oh, wait a minute. No, that's the Admiral group. No, I don't think they get any. I do not think that the G64 group keeps anything at all. Have you read the Oliver? I did read the Oliver Wyman report. We talked about it in here. It's talking about the ground implementation. Yeah, that's also part of music. Why my source is there, and I am beginning to believe somewhere between now and January 2nd because of that. Yeah, Jen, I'm not leaving. Somebody, General 64. That's a group that started way back when. Super nice guy. Much of that crew was super nice. That was back when this whole thing was fragmented. Nobody knew anything. Special groups, banks. Banks would work with special groups just to keep you connected, to try to make certain they would get your business. And that kind of morphed into where we're at now. I don't know if we can get anybody from the actual group to come on, though. They'd have to protect themselves or they would never get a break. General 64 group doesn't recognize Zim. Somebody had said, why would they? Wouldn't make any sense for them if they're working with banks to help get better service from a bank. They would want to deal with a currency. Zim doesn't count. That's more like a bond or a historic bond. Yeah, Wiley, Coyote, all those crews. So I totally understand why G64 would not touch or have anything to do with Zim. Not that they don't think it probably has any value or any of those things, but if they are going to be an interface for currencies with the bank, it totally makes sense. To me, anyways. Julie Green, Ministries International mentions get ready for martial law. What do you think? I'd say there's a great chance we'll have to go through martial law. Wait, what do you mean? The whole world is not going to be butterflies and rainbows when this happens. Much of the world is going to lose out big time because they are absolutely unprepared for it. A lot of people are just going to be uncertain. They're not going to know what's going on. Monetary system changes. There could be a lot of unrest. That it's working out well for you doesn't mean it's working out well for everybody else. How would you like to wake up one day and find out everything you've learned over the last number of years, every time the government's lied to you over the last number of years, every time they manipulated, stole from you, etc., and they're going to find all that out in a short period of time? For those that aren't already awake, haven't already been paying attention and digging and diving, people that never heard about the creature from Jekyll Island, what the Federal Reserve's done to us, what the bankers did to us, what they did during lockdowns, shutdowns, where all that money's been disappearing. Now they're going to learn all of those things. There's going to be unrest. That's why I keep saying just be prepared, sit it out, let crazy happen. There's unrest. Yeah, there is unrest now. Truth. I expect it to get considerably worse for a short period. Clarity Act for the RV to happen. No, I don't think we have to have the Clarity Act. BX. To me, it has always been, when you see things like BRICS, Clarity Act, things like that, that is them forcing this to go, kind of like a dead man switch. They're putting in another system. So if the folks don't do what they need to, when it collapses, it does what it needs to. Two ways for this to play out. Bad guys can quit fighting and embrace it, and it's easier for the people, where they can fight until the collapse, and then we still get it. The inevitability is the same either way. We're going to reset. The market is going to force it. I really hope we can all come together for projects, Wyatt. Really do. See, Mark, when President Trump has made Antifa and the Muslim Brotherhood terrorist groups, yes, we will need martial law. And it's happening. I have no idea what to tell you on the Yugoslavian notes at all. I mean, I got nothing to tell you. I own a handful from ones that other people have sent me and things. I just don't know. Do not have any idea what to tell you. Yeah, right. Liberty Justice. They're going to be calling their resident conspiracy theorists after this. Should have listened to you. Should have prepared. You told me. Can I live in your basement? Is it time to? No, Jim. Stay calm. Let everybody else do stupid. Stay home. Let it pass on by. China deploys the world's first commercial supercritical CO2 power generator. I thought this was pretty cool. I didn't even know they could get this level of efficiencies so greatly increased. Instead of using, like in a steam generation plant, they use creating energy, creates, burning a boiler, whatever, creates steam, spins turbines power the generators, gives us the power. Instead of using water in that equation, smaller footprint, all of those things, started using compressed or CO2 for higher efficiency, considerably higher efficiency. It makes me wonder if we could just start converting old steam generator plants to the new technology. Allows them to create more energy in a smaller package, smaller area, less energy demands. I was reading this, and I was like, I love watching all of these developments. We keep hearing we're going to get cheaper energy, close to free energy as it rolls out. Takes time. I see some of these as clearly as bridges to the execution of that phase. So when I see these, I get awfully excited, and the U.S. is doing it as well. At a commercial level, China just beat us to it. We've had the technology. We were just too busy making legacy power companies a lot of money. So pretty neat tech. I'm just keeping up with that because I think we're watching that transition roll out. Twins, Ron and Don, 75th birthday. Badlands Media, DEFCON Zero's an amazing podcast. I'm going to have to find it. I used to read their Substack all the time, and then they went to, if I remember it correctly, went to a pay model. I was like, yeah, as much as I like it, I'll end up spending a fortune every month on all the different Substacks. Yeah, old nuke plants would be good ones to increase their efficiency, and it's already highly efficient. Really cool on that technology. All right, what else? And this thing's getting play all over social media and everywhere else. Campbell's vice president, VP, soup is crap for effing poor people with chicken from a 3D printer. And it recorded with an employee. Robert Gaza says these things. Supposedly, they got a recording. He, of course, has stepped away while they investigate / whatever. But referring to just how bad it is for you and how it is crap, how it is artificial, how it is whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to eat it. Talks about lab-grown meat in it. Of course, they're claiming none of this is true. Tell you, when you got a VP talking to another employee about it, makes me question. Weena Girl, I was on to our recaps, didn't get on for a while. Now they are charging a monthly fee, ? Yes and no. You do not need to pay a fee. You still get all the same news. It is usually just a few hours delayed. They have a premium function that they needed in order to keep the lights on so that somebody could be there, maintain the website, etc. That's why you see the buttons on it, does advertising. It costs a lot of money, and you got to pay tech people, computer people to keep everything updated. So they did, for those that really enjoy them, are willing to do it to get their articles a couple hours earlier. They have a premium option or a purchase option, a subscription option, but you don't have to. You're still going to get everything from them. Is there a chance that when the email comes out with new rates, etc., or banking instructions, that the people on that list could get a short head start on you? In other words, get their email 30 minutes for you, an hour before you, maybe even 2 or 3. Does it matter? You're still going to get it. If you can't afford to do it, don't. But you're still going to get the same news. It may take a couple hours longer for you to get it. I don't blame them for doing that at all. Everybody's out. Don't charge. Don't do this. I can't believe you even have advertisers on. Bite me. It takes a lot of money and effort and many hours go into doing these things. I don't think people should be out there trying to make bank or take advantage of. But for them to sell advertising or subscription like that, I very much support them and their endeavors to keep the lights on so that they can do that. Zester having a podcast today. I don't know, but I know somebody we can ask. Is Zester having a podcast today? Because he would have canceled it with you or Trish if he weren't. So I'm pretty certain he is. Panos, good to see you, sir. Yeah, YouTube's not free. Every time an ad pops up, you're paying for YouTube. Every time you watch a program on television at ABC, CBS, NBC, you're paying. You're paying with your eyeballs and your time so that advertisers pay. You see it. You might buy, not buy, but that's how they keep the lights on. Nothing's free. Yeah. Even eternal life isn't free. God had to pay with his son's life. Yes, Zester is having a podcast. I see that, everybody checking in. Simply Lindar also chiming in. Yeah, which means he's going to be going live soon. I need to hurry and okay, wait a minute. I already went through all my articles. Yeah, the soup thing, I don't know what to tell you, folks. To me, if I need a degree to read the label on food, I don't think I should eat it. That's my thoughts on that one. Reading through these things. Where the phrase? Yeah. Where did that phrase? I wonder where that came from. The phrase "bite me." Mm-hmm. Wilson, no. Government really doesn't care about poor people, low income. Our government sold out to the bankers. Are there many politicians in history? Are there people in our government that care? Yes. But by and large, most of them sold their soul, sold their morals. Yeah, read your labels, guys. The vampires among us. Bite me. Flying squirrel likes the shirt. Oh, Dave. Oh. How about some nice 3D printed green bean casserole? You know what's not going to be served tomorrow at the Z House? Green bean casserole. Nobody wanted it. I'm not going to make it. Aren't they interesting? Think about the level of control with algorithms and all that good stuff. Angel, I don't even know what you were going to talk about, but it's weird. The plan we're watching before I set, wait, the plan we're watching before it is very clear. The algorithms won't let you, you should pay attention to what they do let you say and what they don't let you say. And that should tell you everything you need to know. Certain things they want you to talk about, division, things like that. They want you talking about that because it leads to unrest and chaos. They want you talking about that. They want you hating each other. They want you talking about ICE and, uh, oh, yeah. They want you to talk about authoritarian Nazism and all of this stuff. They want you talking about all those things. What they don't want you talking about are things that heal you, things that don't need them. They don't want you talking about alternative money where you don't need the banks where they can't control you. Yeah, pay attention to what they don't want you to say, but also pay attention to what seems controversial, but they still let you say. Because that would mean they want you to still, because if they're going to that much effort for you not to say certain things, why would they not do the same effort for those controversial, for those lightning rod subjects? And then unless they wanted them to be lightning rod subjects. I have a green bean t-shirt. I like this one. Nor at my house. No green beans here. We do baby butter beans. Polly, I do the same thing. Somo, who celebrated her birthday yesterday, my son's grandmother on mother's side, um, or kids. Okay. Anyways, grandma. Um, she taught me to do them with a little bit of bouillon in them in the lima, the butter beans. Oh, so good. Like wicked good. Those you just got to cook longer. Whiskey and wisdom. Mike says yes. Zester is not checked in all morning. I'd asked him his opinion on it. I would like to not do it. Mike thinks we should do it. The short of it is, I don't know. I just don't know how many will, traveling, cooking, etc., whether it makes any sense to do one or not. What are you all's thoughts so I can take it into account? And I will post it on X and Truth so that you guys and Telegram so that you guys have a head start once decisions made. Yeah, John told me the DEF CON's on Rumble and free. I'll have to look it up. Oop, wait. I did get a text. Let's see. Militia Man's going to join Friday morning, so we'll get him before Mr. C. I'll get him to help me right out of the gate on Friday with what he is hearing. I love it. We can talk about those fundamentals. Yeah, I don't want to share some of that because I need to vet it. Yeah, he's also hearing of some money movement into the U.S., so need to vet and see what's going on there. Yeah, he even sent me the link. Way to go, John. All right. Just checking on that before we sing birthdays. Grammy says, I would say no. Take the time off. Enjoy family, friends. T- Many of them are just pay treat. It's sci-fi should be canceled. Won't be able to do it. Take it off. All right. Let's kill it. Let's just go ahead and kill it. Let's kill it. Give the mods the break too. Let them enjoy their families. I will do a news update tonight, though, folks. I will do a news update just in case. We're not doing whiskey. I need to at least do that one to make certain, even if it's a short recorded one. If it's a recorded one, I will say in the description that it's a recorded video so that you guys can watch it at leisure. When I drop a recorded video, though, I do drop it so you all can still chat amongst yourselves while it is live, while it is airing originally. You will be able to chat amongst yourselves. So even if I don't come on and do one, there will be a recorded one. You will have something tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Look at you cooking, making cookies with Panos. Enjoy. Eat a chocolate chip one for me, Panos. I know she probably wasn't going to make any, but now she has to. HCL has not been signed and approved. At least if it has, I've not seen that one. Michael, bite me first appeared as a phrase on the Breakfast Club. You know, that would make sense. The day and time. One of the students said it to a teacher. Huh, I didn't know that. 3DM's Friday. Mark, Mr. C and Militia Man. Oh, I like that. Eminem. All right, Kevin, Fred, Trim Guy, Marilyn, Kelly, Hickson, Ron, and John. Or is it Ron and Don? Did I write that one wrong? Anyways, happy birthday, the twins. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, to all those that are celebrating. I am with you, Keith. We become one big family, and I don't want to break it up. No matter what happens after, we will keep doing them. Zester's on YouTube as the crazy kryptonite. Ellen, if you hang out for just a second, I will drop a link to his YouTube. You can go on today. Matter of fact, while you are on there watching, just ask people for all of his other socials so that you can follow him on X and anywhere else he might be, his Substack, so you can read what he's got going on. He does a lot more than he tells us about. So I am going to pull that one up on him, drop it in chat. You can find him at the Crazy Kryptonaut on YouTube. You see, you even have his picture right there. Now, beware, though. There are many people pretending to be him. There are many people pretending to be me. Even in my own chat on videos, I have to go through the descriptions and remove them. I don't have time to go through every comment on every platform, from Telegram to YouTube to Rumble to X to everywhere else, guys. I do not have the time or the interest. You've got to be smart enough to fall for it. He's not going to try to get you to invest in crypto QFS wallets that don't exist yet. Nobody's going to try to get you to do that, in my opinion, that is legitimate. So don't fall for it. Don't fall for me giving you privately messaging you over some secret investment deal. It isn't happening. Zester's not doing it. Kukla's not doing it. Booger's not doing it. None of us are doing it. Charlie Ward is not privately messaging you about some cool investment in Somalia or in Bangladesh or online. It's not happening. We have too many people getting stolen from for things like that. It is not us. It is people pretending. So then get your faith. It happened to my son, Riley Z, because many people know him from us talking, the occasional podcast where he's popped on. People posing as him to try to get people's dollars. Don't fall for it. Yeah, law enforcement around the world's gone completely crappy. They're going to shake you down over what you said or whether you flew an English flag, but they're going to have no problem with you taking advantage of 20 people's retirements and devastating them economically. Yeah, QFS automatic, not something for you to go sign up for. Mimsy, there's some pretty good apps out there now. I've been shopping with Yuka. They have a carrot on their app, takes a picture of the barcode, rates the food and beauty products. I love those sites. Love those sites and how they have helped. Campbell's Soup made a reply that no, their chicken and all the meats truly are real meat. However, they do use bioengineered plants. You know it's not Mark, especially when he says he loves green beans. Trevor, I'm glad you were paying attention. Oh, Zester's live now. Everybody go catch Zester. Much love and appreciation for you folks. He is over at YouTube presently at the Crazy Kryptonite. Go enjoy it. And I will see you tonight. Bye, guys.